So before I get started with this video, I just want to let you guys know really quick that me and Cowboys Blog, aka Joe Rod, have started a podcast. You guys can find it by going to SoundCloud.com and then typing in The Cowboys Huddle or Cowboys Huddle, and the link is in the description box. So make sure you guys do that, listen, share it around, all that good stuff. Yo, what's going on, Cowboys fans? It's your boy Foots the King. As always, thank you all for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Keep doing that, man. Send the videos around. Without you guys, I wouldn't even be doing this. Like the comments, the insightful, talk that we have, the debate. You guys may like somebody, I may like somebody else, but it's good, healthy debate. Like that's what this channel is built off of. The facts, coming to an argument with not just fluff and not just being super fan or, oh, I love the Cowboys for life, but really having some girth behind what you're saying. I just said girth, but really having some facts or really believing in what you're saying, but then you can back it up. That's what this channel is, and without you guys, it wouldn't be much. So let's keep talking about it. If you wrong, I'm gonna call you out though, but call me out too. If I got a waffle, let's talk about it. That being said, I wanted to highlight 5 things that us as Cowboys fans or us as Cowboys supporters learned from this mini camp. Just ended. Today is Sunday. Hope you guys enjoyed your mothers. But if you were like me, you were with mom, but you were also thinking about the Cowboys a little bit. And I was. And I wanted to, as I've been reading, following, getting some information from some sources, I wanted to talk about what did we learn from this weekend's rookie mini camp. 5 things that we learned. Let's talk about it. Number 1, when Chris Richard talks, we listen. Just a guy who captures a room. You can see it. You can tell that the DB room is going to be fun. You can tell that he's going to hold them to, as he was saying in his interview, the standard. But while everybody took from his interview that just happened at Rookie Mini Camp, the LOB thing, that's cool. But what I took from it was, well, let's talk about it. Here goes the clip right here.
What's the process of that, and how are you translating that to this job? Well, it's just a part of the system, and that's pretty much what it is. It's there's certain individuals, there's certain guys of the nature who fit a certain profile, who have historically worked better with this style of scheme and this defense. So obviously, the more guys that we can get of that nature, of that stature, of that build, the better that we think we can be, the more comfortable that we ultimately feel putting product out there.
Why do you think your corners work better in this system?
Length, strength, create issues at the line of scrimmage. I said we want to cause as many problems as we can for an offense before the ball is even snapped. So if we're up there at the line of scrimmage and we're making you think about where you need to go and how you're going to get around me, it's a whole lot better than you just thinking about where you need to go. So it's where do I need to go, how am I going to get around him? If we're off, okay, where do I need to go?
Boom. The Cowboys want to make the receiver's life, they want to cause havoc before the play even starts. That is what Chris Richard is built on. He wants to run cover 1. Cover 1, if you guys don't know, is a safety over the top and man across the board. That's it. Cover 3 depends on how you zone it. Your corners could be off. They could be impressed. They can play different positions of the field. You have that linebacker who we just drafted, Leighton Vander Esch, or your middle linebacker with different assignments throughout that scheme. Your safeties, your strong, your free will have different assignments. He's going to have to teach it. He's going to have to teach these schemes, and even in the interview, he's saying, we will run what we run best. Basically, whatever we work on and it looks good in practice, as he's teaching throughout this offseason, we will run. The Cowboys will run. But you like to hear that. He's a young man, 38. He's not out of touch. Some of these coaches in the league are just out of touch, and they don't want to change their ways, and they don't want to change their schemes. I mean, you even think about Rod Marinelli, Tampa 2 since Tony Dungy's been in the league. It works and it's good, but you hear Chris Richard, they want to try something new. He wants longer corners. That's why I'm sure he went to Byron and said, yo, Byron, look at your size. You're a great athlete, Let's move you to corner and let's make this thing work. And he has that ability. He has that type of presence about him that I'm sure Byron was like, let's do it. And Byron, you heard him. Byron has had a great attitude about it. So I think this will be fun. And it's just things that I like about Chris Richard. That now with running that press scheme, better have a D-line to get home, and you better be sound in your technique. But again, I say all that to say it's just things that I really like about Chris Richard. And I think that this is one of them that he's going to instill that confidence in his players. I know I'm all over the place, but he got me ready to run through a wall. So that's number one. Number two, quick hitter. Leighton Vander Esch moves well. Leighton Vander Esch moves well. You saw some clips popping up here and there. I posted one on my page. You can see his basketball background. 6'4", got a neck like a freaking cinder block. But he moves well. Good hips, finish. We'll have to see that more, the physicalness, once he actually gets in the game in preseason games and he actually is making tackles. But as far as his hips, his footwork, him running around out there, he moves well, and that's what the Cowboys wanted. That's what Chris Richard wanted. That's what Rod Marinelli wanted. They wanted a linebacker who not only could drop in the coverages but understands coverages. They didn't just want a thumper. You guys know I wanted Rashaan Evans. Maybe they didn't see that from Rashaan Evans. Maybe they didn't see the hip fluidity that they saw in LVE, Leighton Vander Esch. LVE. I got to figure out something to call it. All right, but he moves well. I can see that. I can see that immediately that Leighton Vander Esch moves very well. Number three, Mike White's going to be a fan favorite. I can see it now. I'm calling it now. You guys see the tweet on the screen. Gil Brandt calling you sharp, calling Mike White sharp early on in rookie camp. That was one of the only things he tweeted. If Gil Brandt tweets, if he says anything, I listen, because Gil Brandt isn't a scout. He's the scout. You know, he changed the draft in a lot of ways. He changed the way that teams thinking. He has an eye. Even at his age, he still has an eye. And so, you know, Mike White, everything that I highlighted in his video, footwork, ball placement, doesn't have the best arm, but he knows what he's doing. You got to understand, too, him and Kellen Moore have a very you got to understand, too, him and Kellen Moore have a very good relationship. Kellen Moore got his job taken by Dak, so maybe, no, I'm just joking. But in all seriousness, that battle between him and Cooper Rush is going to be really fun. And Mike's going to get the opportunity. Preseason, he's going to get the opportunities. Training camp, he's going to get opportunities. They may rest Dak. Cooper may get the one snaps, but he's going to get a chance to really compete. So Mike White is going to become a fan favorite. Trust me on that. Number 4 and number 5, these both kind of go hand in hand. But number 4, this young staff, they're changing up things a bit. Ben Bloom, Andre Gerard was out there working with Rod Marinelli. Mark Colombo, Sanjay Lau. So there's just a breath of fresh air amongst the staff, right? And they're doing different things. They're teaching more or less than just running these guys into the dirt. Because you got to understand, and this is 5, the Cowboys have learned their lesson. So 4 and 5 go hand in hand. This young staff is a breath of fresh air. New receivers coach, Ben Bloom, studying at Matt Eberflus. He's going to have some different techniques as well. And then the Cowboys have learned their lesson. This was more of a teaching orientation type deal. They didn't want them going too hard. They wanted to teach them how they want them to practice. They wanted to teach them, you know, Chris Richard teaching them press techniques and different things like that. Even Chris Richard is new to this staff. So it's going to be a breath of fresh air, but the Cowboys have learned their lesson, you know, with the soft tissue injuries, with different things like that have burned the Cowboys in the past. Hamstring, you think about last year, Jordan Lewis sat out pretty much all of camp. So the Cowboys are learning their lesson, easing these guys in. Now, you don't want to go too easy on them, because no matter what, training camp's going to come and you're going to be in the dog days. But I think that that's very intelligent on the Cowboys' part, because you got to also understand these guys have been training. They come out of their bowl games, right? Then they're training for the combine, and they're lifting 1,000 weights, and they're trying to run the fastest 40 they can, and their body just hasn't had a rest. So I think it was very intelligent on the Cowboys' part to kind of pull back. They waited the 2 weeks. And then in OTAs, the next couple of camps, we got some camps coming up. Here goes the list, guys. What do they got? I'm so bad at this. Oh, okay, here we go. OTAs, the first workouts come May 22nd through the 24th. Then they got another session, 29th through the 31st. Then they got the last one, June 4th through the 6th. Come back that next week. June 12th through the 14th is the last mini camp before the big shebang training camp. So these were some things that I learned. Again, Chris Richard just is going to be fun throughout the season. You can tell that he's going to be accountable. Like if they waffle, because I'll tell you this, there's also a flip side to it. I know you guys remember Rob Ryan, and he had this big plan, and he talked very, very well. And then, you know, they were doing all these exotic blitzes, and he was calling all these blitzes, and we were getting chewed up, especially by good quarterbacks who understood what we were trying to do. Now, I like press man and cover 3 because it's really just mano-a-mano, but all that crazy blitzing that Rob Ryan was talking about, it just didn't work, and it was a waffle. So you'll have, if it doesn't work with Richard and things start looking goofy, he'll be held accountable. But I think that he'll jump in front of it, and he'll just, you know, go to war for his guys if they do waffle. And, of course, the receiver battle, running back, Bo Scarborough and Jalen's brother. Oh, I shouldn't do you like that, Rod Smith, Bo Scarborough and Rod. Safety. Are we set at safety? I think that Chris likes these guys. I think he came in and said, yo, I like what we got here. I want this to grow together. You heard him in the interview. He wants these guys to build and love each other together. So I think that this offseason, this is just the taste of this is just the beginning, more or less. I think this offseason is going to be really, really fun. But these are some things that I learned, and I hope that you guys kind of got that same vibe. What did you guys feel from this mini camp? It's not much. Take it with a grain of salt. But I think that throughout, you know, it'll be fun. This offseason is going to be extremely, extremely fun. As always, guys, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Send this video around, man. Let's talk about it. Jump in the comment section. All right, y'all. Peace.